by the time your lawyer has got to the point where they've done all these due diligence inquiries, you would expect that lawyer then to say to the client, right, this is what we've done, this is what we've found, and legally speaking, it is in order for you to go ahead and buy this property, or there are dangers if you buy this property because there's this problem and that problem and another problem.
Exactly.
And it's at that point, is it, that the client then signs the contract to buy?
Correct.
This is the private contract to buy.
That's the exchange of contract. That's the PPC, the private purchase contract. This is normally happening around 3 weeks after reservation. These 3 weeks is the timing that we normally take to do all the searches that I've been explaining. If the report is positive, we can exchange contract. We can sign a contract where in a resale, the typical deposit to be paid is 10%. If we are talking about off-plan properties and developments, that's more than 10%, but 10% is paid. We have a binding contract again when this deposit is paid. And then final stage, final phase is completion. That is, of course, regulated, stipulated within that contract.
And when we're talking about completion, what we're talking about is going to the notary to sign the final purchase contract, the escritura.
Correct.
Yes. So this is quite a quick process, really. 3-4 weeks before you sign the contract to buy, the private contract to buy, and then from that point onwards, it can be very quick going to the notary.
Yeah, exactly. This is really the type of time that could be taken. Sometimes it could be a little bit longer if we didn't work in advance with the preparation of our legal structure.
Right. Yes.
And for whatever reason is decided, okay, in my personal circumstances, it's better to buy the property using a company, a real estate company that I actually have in the UK. So the translation of the documents, the power of attorney from the UK, etc., could be taking longer than 3 weeks' time.
Yes.
And this is something that if we know in advance when signing the reservation, we can plan the exchange of contract. It's not going to be happening in 3 weeks' time, but in 6 weeks' time. Yes. And we can accommodate it.
Now, we get to the point where you've signed the private purchase contract and you're now preparing for the signing of the escritura, the title deed. What happens if the client can't be here in Spain to do that?
Most of the clients don't come over on completion, but we can sign title deeds on behalf of the client if we show to the notary we have a power of attorney, a formal power of attorney that could either be signed in Spain in front of any Spanish notary. This is the simplest and the easiest way, the cheapest way to have it, because we show the power of attorney to the notary and we are considered legal representatives and we are considered the lawyers of that client. But in many cases, this cannot happen because the property is decided to be bought by 3 members of the family. 2 of them are not in Spain, or just because the client has decided to buy a property in the middle of the weekend when he's about to go back to his country. So therefore, this power of attorney can perfectly be signed in the country of anybody. With our experience, we have more than 40 countries, and we have a huge list of notary offices, solicitors with notarial powers, law firms that have already our form of Manzanares, which is always in double column, the language of the national, and also in Spanish, and therefore this is signed in front of a lawyer in that country in double column, his language and Spanish, and they have to arrange the legalization of that power of attorney, which in many countries is the stamp of the apostille from The Hague, which is recognizing international validity to that power of attorney.
Now, we have a separate guide and video about powers of attorney, so we'll refer people to that if they want more detail. But they are really important documents in Spain. Without them, these transactions just really can't go ahead.
Exactly.
And it's a good tip, isn't it? If you can grant the power of attorney whilst you're still over here, once you've just seen the property, it's going to be the cheapest way for everybody.
Absolutely the cheapest and the very best.